So morning. I was just talking about a tip really quickly for um, the pick two. If you're in my team page, if you go on the albums, there's a pick two album of like, this is the one that I'm posting right now. And I added on you guys, I just get these from like Cheyenne Knox or like anybody that is like more talented at me than putting these together because I'm terrible at it. But I do, however, have some mad skills of adding things in. And so the chocolate greens were added to this pick two deal. And so I like, you can tell that the font is different, but I don't care. I still added it in because I was like, I don't want them to not know that the chocolate greens are on there. So anyways, every morning I've been talking about the pick two, and then I've been putting what is there. Like, just showing them what's there. I'm going to say swipe up and type pick two. And just this alone has brought a lot of traffic and people interested, and because it's a sale. You guys, some of the people that are following you that maybe you've never reached out to, or maybe you have and they haven't responded, those are the type of people that are coming to me because they're seeing a sale. And when people see a huge sale, they're just interested no matter what because they like sales, right? So I've been having so many people come to me and say, hey, can you tell me more about this? And I love it because it's just an awesome way to get it out there. Okay, so swipe up and type pick two. Okay, all done. Thank you for letting me do that real quick. I'm also going to start us off with the prayer of Jabez every morning. It's something that I really, really wanted to do in the beginning. And then Huntley drew all over it. She found it the other day and she drew all over it. So I'll rewrite it. But I'm going to start us off with that. And then I'll go into our devotional or our self-reliant entrepreneur book. Whoops. Okay. Dear Lord, oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain. And I pray that everybody on this Zoom every single morning, Lord, would be blessed, and that their territory, their businesses would be enlarged. Let your hands be with them and keep them from any harm so that they will be free from pain. Amen. Okay, self-reliant entrepreneur. April 8th. We're in the second week, y'all. Second week of April already. Good morning, Katie. I see you in your dark room. No, I'm so glad that you're on. For one split second, I was so exhausted this morning that I was like, oh no. I have like, I don't know if you guys ever had this, if any of you went through this when you were pregnant, but I did not go through this when I was pregnant with Huntley. I have like nerve pain, like really bad nerve pain in my sciatica. I think that's what it's called. So all the way down my left leg, it is literally numb like all day long. And especially when I wake up, it is like just throbbing and in so much pain. Anyways, so I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, catch. Okay. Thank you. Ooh, she's just throwing balls at me. Can you go play catch with daddy, please? Okay, thank you. So, anyways, for a split second, I was like, I don't know if I can get up and do this wake up with Rochelle today. And then I was like, no, Katie told me she's not missing another one. And I was like, I've got girls counting on me. I've got to get up. So I did, huh? Okay, honey, go play catch with daddy. Please, I got to read real quick. Honey, you can't throw it at the computer, baby. That's a hard ball. Okay, go give it to daddy. Thank you. Okay, making a living is what this one's called. I wish to suggest that a person may be very industrious and yet not spend their time well. There is no more fatal blunderer than they who consume the greater part of their life getting a living. All great enterprises are self-supporting. The poet, for instance, may sustain their body by their poetry. As a stem planning mill feeds its boilers with the shavings it makes. You guys, I'm such a terrible reader. You must get your living by loving. Life Without Principle, 1854. Hold on, let me take a drink of this. By the way, if you have not mixed keto tea with keto coffee, you've pretty much never lived, just so you know. I add cinnamon to it and then cinnamon toast crunch creamer. Best thing ever. Okay. As a self-reliant entrepreneur, you likely have no objection to Thoreau's claim. That's the guy who just said the above statement. That you must get your living by loving. But imagine the mid-19th century reader. Nearly everyone today aspires to be some sort of entrepreneur. But hey, there was no internet back then, and the expectation family. Did I oh, yep, I missed a line. There was no internet back then, and the expectation was that you would toil away at something that served a purpose and fed your family. That you hated the existence it created was little of concern. But consider Thoreau's last sentence carefully. Does it make any sense with all the options available today to simply go about what you do to make a living, to just make a living, or must your venture also allow you to make a life worth loving? The difference amounts to simply trading your days for something to come, or reveling or reveling. You guys, good Lord. I think I need to start drinking my coffee before I start reading. Like, what in the world is happening? The difference amounts to simply trading your days for something to come, or reveling in a self-supporting journey that feeds your soul now in every present moment. Oh, but you'll be tested every single day on this idea. Many days it will not feel more noble to starve than settle for a living that includes some bread. But then there will be those days when you see with impenetrable clarity that you are indeed making a living by loving. The challenge question is, what role do you let loving play in making a living? So this is great because it, like, even when all those words are like huge and don't make any sense to me, here's what I got out of it. My dad used to say this to me. And I'm not kidding you. I think I heard him say it probably once every week when we were growing up. Lisette says, yes, it will change your life. What were you talking about? I don't remember now. I didn't see it pop up. But what was I going to say? Oh, my dad used to say this. Okay. And I hope I don't butcher it because I know what he was meaning, but I always say it backwards first. So I'm going to try not to. He said that you want to work to live and not live to work. Okay. My dad is somebody who lives to work. Okay. He has to go to work in order to make a living. And a lot of the times, like when we were growing up, a lot of the times he was literally living working. Like he had side jobs. He picked up anything else that he could possibly do. He was an electrician. So he would bring home like wire and copper, like scraps from the job. He like had this, agreement made with a lot of the other apprentices and journeymen. And he would be like, I'm a single dad. I've got 2 kids at home to feed. Like, can I take this wire? If I strip it and I get it done, can I take that in? And he would get money for it. Okay. So I'm telling you, like, my dad was the king of side jobs. And I never realized that as a kid. I never realized that that's what he was doing. Sometimes he would make us dinner and then take us over to somebody else's house while he redid their floors. Okay. Or while he redid their cabinets. Like, he was a man of all trades. Okay. Oh, Lisette says mixing the coffee and tea, it will change your life. Yes, it's so good. Katie says, do you mix the grains in it? I do. I add 1 scoop of the grains, and it's really good. And then I add like probably the whole bottle of cinnamon. I mean, like, I don't, but like, I add a lot of cinnamon to it. And then the cinnamon toast crunch creamer. Brenda says, my dad said the same thing and was a workaholic also. And Lisette said, sometimes I add the greens too, but I need to try it without the greens. But here's the thing about my dad. So he worked so hard just to put food on the table, you guys. And what we ate was literally like, I'll never forget this. And still to this day, if like Brian tried to buy like these banquet pot pies the other day, like the frozen, and I was like, no, no, like, I don't care if we are starving, I will not eat those because I straight up grew up on 99-cent banquet pot pies. Renee's like, yes. Like, that was my life. And that is what we ate every single day after school. I am not kidding you. Or Totino's pizza, because y'all know they were like 4 for $1. They still are. How is Totino's pizza the only thing that has not risen in this economy? Like, what do they put in that? Because it, like, 15 years ago, that was still 4 for $1. So I'm kind of confused on what's in them. Top ramen. Okay. That is something that those were the 3 staples of mine and my brother's life. And I knew how to make them, and I still know how to make them. Okay. So if I'm cooking, it's usually a Totino's pizza. Hot dogs and baked beans. So true. Yes. Anything in like canned food form, like anything that was at Winco. Do you guys have Winco? Do you guys know what Winco is? No. Winco back in Oregon is like, it's like Weirmart, or like, I don't even know. It's just like super cheap food, like very cheap food, probably not even fresh food, but it was cheap. So anyways, my point of this is that he always told us, you don't want to work to live. You want to find something. He told this to my brother too, who followed in his footsteps and became an electrician. However, he told us to, pick something where we could live to, no. We could work to live and not live to be at work. Right. So I love that. And that's what that passage reminded me of, because I finally found that. Luckily I found it before I was even 30 years old. So I'm very, very, very blessed in that aspect. But, even though he taught us that, even though that was something that he taught us, I think we went on one trip ever. Okay. I was 16 and my brother was he's 4 years younger. So 12. Yeah, thanks. I'm like, guys, it's too early for me to do math. So my brother was 12 and my brother's very, very short. Okay. Like very short. My dad is shorter than me as well. Fun fact. I'm the tallest one in my family. Have no idea where I got it from. My mom's 5 foot. So what in the world? I'm 5'7". How did this happen? But what I'm telling you is, at 12, that's when he was tall enough to go on the rides. Like legit, most kids that are 6 or 7 are tall enough. He was 12 before we could go on all of the rides. And so I was 16 years old before we made it happen. And I'm not kidding you. My dad was saving and doing side jobs for that flipping trip for years for us to be able to do that. And we went to Knott's Berry Farm and did a couple other things in a package. And I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but I feel like it really shaped who I was going to become, because I watched him work so hard and then I watched him give it to us. It was just that was his life's mission of I did all of this and he could have gone out and gotten himself something, but he took us to Disneyland instead. And I just love that. And then when he went debt free, I think he had a motorcycle always, but he didn't have his baby, the motorcycle that he wanted, the motorcycle of his dreams, right? So when he went debt free a couple years ago, he rode into Harley and bought one for cash. And I just remember being so proud of him, because he literally his whole life saved for this. His whole life he did the Dave Ramsey plan. He always had the envelopes of cash. He always, was trying to get ahead while also raising us kids. And I just thank him so much for that, because he really showed us that he was living to work. He was just living to work, although he was always telling us not to. And so of course we do what we see, right? We do what we see, not what we're told. That's the same with leadership. I saw a great quote the other day that was oh shoot, I got to share it with you guys because it was so good. Cami posted it in our triples and above page, and I'll find it because I got to talk to you guys about it real quick. It really hit me to the core. Shoot, if I can't find it, I'm going to cry. Hold on. Of course, I just searched Cami and it's a million different posts. Hold on, guys. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Example isn't the main thing in leadership. It's the only thing. Did you guys hear that? Example isn't the main thing in leadership. It's the only thing. So if you are not leading by example, you are not being a leader. You have to do the things that you want your team to do, right? We can't just tell them what to do. All the words you speak as a leader mean nothing if your life doesn't back it up. Wait, there was another picture to this and it had better. I'm not going to be able to find the other picture. I don't think it was only one there. But anyways, even those two were so helpful to me. But that goes back to, my dad showing us what to do all these years, but then telling us to do something different. So when I graduated and I got a job, I was a freaking workaholic. I've always been a workaholic because that's what I know. That's what I saw. Right. But I will never forget when I promoted from triple to pres and I called my dad to say, I called him not about promoting. I called him because we got $75,000 in bonuses. And that was my main goal. My main goal was promoting to help my dad and my brother and pay off all the bills and the debt that they had accrued from my brother going to prison. Okay. And he's still going to have a lot of bills when he gets out, like a lot of things that he has to pay. And I called him to tell him we did it. Like, we did it. We got it. Name the price. Whatever you need, it's done. I have it. And he was so proud, not because I did that for my brother or because I did that for him. He was like, I've watched you do this. Because it took me a year, you guys. It took me a year to go from double diamond to triple and pres. And then the year before that, we were going through all the turmoil of him being out of prison. He was out of prison, but we knew he was going in. So it was a full year of him being out and working. He was actually working on our house that we were building, like not building, but like fully remodeling. And so they did all the electrical things in our house. And then, so I started working on that. I was a diamond when he was, what's the word? Convicted, if you will. Like, I was a diamond when he was convicted. And then we skyrocketed to double, and then Brian to double. And then it took us a year to go triple and pres. And my dad watched us do that. And so what he said on the phone was, I'm so proud of you because you finally found something that doesn't feel like work to you. Like, because that's what he had been telling me all my life. And I thought he was telling me, find something that you don't really have to work at. You know what I mean? Like, find something that you just love, that you can just like kind of like make your living and like do your thing, like just live to just, pay your bills and you'll be good and not have really any extra. That's kind of what I thought he was saying. But really what he was saying was, find something that you love. Find something that doesn't feel like work, so that when you work like us, like workaholics, we will finally, we will feel like this is love. And that's what our book was about this morning. Like, what was the question? What's one aspect of your work that, oh, no, that was the wrong one. What is it? The 8th? Sorry, guys. What role do you let loving play? Oh, what role do you let loving play in your making a living? So I just answered that question, but I love it because that's what it made me think of, is what my dad used to tell me. And then all of that coming full circle to him saying, I'm so proud of you for finding something that you absolutely love to do and making money. So, and anyways, I don't know if that was helpful to anybody. Okay. I'm going to read our devotional. I always forget to read these verses here too. There's like really good verses in between all the devotionals. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. As my sciatica, you guys, I think I say it wrong, but as the nerve that is hurting really, really bad started to hurt, like more than I've ever felt it hurt yesterday. I was taking a hot bath and I was just like massaging that area because it hurts so bad. It's literally like numbing my entire leg. And I've never felt that before, but I started being grateful. Like okay. First of all, Katie and I were talking the other day and she's like, oh, I'm so glad that you're like not a robot. Like, Katie straight up has thought I have been a robot since like the beginning of time. Because I show up, I do my work. I like always know what to say. You guys, I don't know what to say. And I still struggle getting out of bed every single morning. And I still struggle with gratitude. And I still struggle with like so many other things. Trust me when I say I'm a mess. Okay. You want your coffee? Actually, go ask Daddy to remake that because that's an old one. Okay. Don't drink that. Go get it. Go say more cough, please. Thank you. Go tell him. Don't drink that one, okay? What was I gonna say? Oh, but I've really been training my mind. At least I've been trying to train my mind to be grateful first before I complain. So like any complaints that I have, like goodness gracious, my leg is numb right now and it hurts, and all that I want to do is complain about it. Instead, I was sitting in the bath and I was like, you know what? I am so grateful that I'm almost 19 weeks pregnant and I really haven't had that much go wrong. Like I really haven't had that much pain. I was nauseous in the first part of it, but like nowhere near what I was with Huntley. And so I just started being grateful. I just started like telling God all the things I was grateful for. And then I was like, man, but this really, man, but this really hurts right now. Okay. So I'm definitely not perfect, but I have been trying to help myself really get my mindset into a grateful mindset, because I feel like that this doesn't hurt as much if I'm not complaining about it. Does that even make sense? Like if all I do is complain about it or like think about it, then I'm going to be in a lot of pain and I'm probably going to be really grumpy too. Instead, Katie said, sounds like something a robot would say. No, it doesn't. But, anyways, I was really proud of myself yesterday because I was like, okay, now I'm in like a good headspace. Like, it's okay. I'm making a baby. And you know what? The other thing I'm really grateful for is that this one is so healthy, so unbelievably healthy. And we all know that the one between Huntley and this one was not. And so I'm just grateful. And if I have to go through this entire pregnancy with a numb left leg, then it'll be okay. Like there's other women that have it way worse than me. Right. So I think perspective is everything in keeping your mood where you want it and keeping your drive where you want it. But I'm telling you, of course I have days where I slip. Of course I have days where I don't feel like doing anything. Of course I have days where I just feel like absolute crap and I just want to wallow in it all. Okay, that's normal. We're human. We're absolutely human. But if I can train myself and show you guys how to train yourself, to look at the gratefulness first or look at the good things first, I think that it's easier for us to have a better day than it is if we go straight to the negative, right? Okay. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:3. Seeing your need for him. My teenage daughter had been having a horrible, no good, very bad day. A bad month, really. Her best friends had fractured apart due to personality conflicts, and her closest friend had walked away from her entirely. My naturally shy daughter had finally found a place where she belonged, and now it was all gone. I gave her lots of hugs and tried to draw her out. My heart hurt as I watched her pain. I longed to be there for her as support, but day by day I saw her withdraw into herself. No, I can't explain what's going on. I don't want to talk about it, Mom. Maybe you know the feeling. Perhaps you are laboring under a load of sadness from a broken relationship, deep hurt, or other betrayal. Maybe you invested your time or energy into something only to have it all taken away. Maybe except for deep feelings of rejection, you are empty. Okay, I want this part. If you guys were on yesterday, this is what I was talking about. Maybe you have invested your time or energy into something only to have it taken away. There was a time in my business where, and this was all my doing once again. There was a time in my business where I was bulldozing. I told you about that yesterday, where I was just running, for promotions, for paychecks, for whatever, for myself, right? And I would build people straight up 30 days to diamond, straight up. Nobody's on the team anymore that I did this for. But my point, there's a reason for that, okay? Because I bulldozed them and I don't blame them. And so I would like help them get to diamond, and then they wouldn't know how to keep it, or they wouldn't understand, or they weren't ready for that leadership role. I wonder why. Because I bulldozed them and got them there and was like, okay, now you keep it. I'm going to go over here and build another one. I'm going to go over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And my mindset at that time was like, I just built you there. You can't even keep it? Like what? You're just going to leave? You're just going to leave me? Like, I don't understand. I did all this for you. Like, I don't get it. Right? Now, again, it wasn't me just being like rude and upset that they were ungrateful. That's not what it was. It was more of just like, I don't understand. Like if somebody did that for me, I would be so grateful. But then I really started to think about it and I was like, no, I wouldn't, because I would have been bulldozed. I wouldn't have been shown what to do. I wouldn't understand how I got there. I would be confused. How do I deserve this? I didn't do anything. Okay, so I started really understanding why these people were leaving, why they didn't want to be a diamond on my team, why they didn't want to take on that role. Now, some of them did and are now doing incredible, or some of them worked with me the whole way. But there have been times where I have straight up built people and I won't do it anymore. I will not do it anymore because I think a true leader shows people how to duplicate instead of building them. It shows them how to do their steps to a real leader shows them how to do their steps to success, how they can learn, to show them what we are doing at each and every day. And that takes more work. That is the reality that I had to understand. I was truly being lazy. It takes more work for us to show them the steps. It takes more work for us to show them and be patient with them of how to become a leader. Okay. I had a girl yesterday tell me, I just don't feel like I'm a leader. She's almost Ruby. Okay. She has 3 people on her team. And she's like, I just don't feel like I deserve this role. Like, I don't feel like I'm a leader. And she's doing it all herself. And I'm like, but that's the thing about leadership. It doesn't just come. Okay. And it's not supposed to just come. When you get charted for Ruby, that doesn't automatically make you a leader, and it shouldn't. There's steps that have to go along that, and you learn as you grow. That's what a leader does. You watch what other leaders are doing and you repeat it. You don't have to feel like you're a leader the second that you promote to Ruby or Diamond or whatever. You don't have to sit there and be like, okay, good, like now I'm a leader. No, I still personally am learning how to be a leader every single day. Cami Pentecost is still learning how to be a leader. That's what a leader is. Just constantly leading, just constantly learning. Okay. And as long as we can show our new distributors that just because you're in a specific role doesn't mean that you're a leader. There can be a double diamond that doesn't do a dang thing with their team at all. It doesn't make her a leader, right? The rank doesn't make you a leader. What you do with it and how you care for your people makes you a leader. Okay, so that's what I was telling her. I'm like, this title is not going to make you a leader, girl. Like, I'm not sitting here like, you're a Ruby now, so you better step up and be a leader. What I'm doing is saying, now you are leading people and I can help you. I can help you lead them by teaching you what to do. And what did that thing say that I just read to you guys? They're not going to follow anything that you're not doing. So really, to be a leader, all you got to do is work your business. All you got to do is do the things that you want to do in your business and they will follow. Okay. That's it. You don't have to do live videos and a team page to be a leader. You don't have to message them personally to be a leader. All you have to do is work your business and allow them to watch. What they see is what they're going to do. So that's how you be a leader. Also, y'all, I am so unqualified to do this every single morning. Like, so unqualified. Okay. The other day, there was something from the Bible called rushes, and I didn't know what they were, just so you know. And it's like a flowery thing that they made crosses out of. Okay, I didn't know what they were. Grew up in church, everything. Now, after the fact, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally knew what that was. But listen, I didn't. I am not qualified to do this. And that's okay, because God, what's the word? Okay, drop it in the chats if you guys know what I'm trying to say. God qualifies the called. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like something, something, something. God qualifies the called. He doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Okay, so I truly feel called to get up on this every single morning, even if I make a freaking fool of myself, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know that I love Jesus. And I do know that anything that I say on here, and you guys know my heart, and I'm just learning every single day like you are. So if I can show you my mess ups and I can show you how I am so unqualified to do this, then maybe you will feel more qualified in your life to do more things. Like, maybe that's what I'm here to show you guys for. I don't know. I need to get back to reading this. Hold on. Maybe, excuse me, maybe except for deep feelings of rejection, you are empty. Take heart, because you are not alone. Someone is hurting right alongside you as he watches your pain. He is longing to hug you and make it better. He wants to be there for you as a support. He wants you to come to him just as you are, before you have anything figured out. He loves you when you are broken, empty, with nothing to give, poor in spirit. A month into my daughter's ordeal, I went in and prayed for her as usual before bedtime. Finally, after a few moments of inner struggle, she began to truly share, to trust me with her broken heart. And as we walked together before the throne of grace, she began to cast her cares on her Heavenly Father and trust that He would heal her. When we set aside our pride, self-consciousness, and self-protectiveness to come before God in our deep need, it is as if we step into a parallel reality. We get a glimpse of the true reality all around us, the eternal reality called the kingdom of heaven, and realize that the one who wants to enfold us in His loving arms is also the one sitting on the throne. The sense of fulfillment is so profound that millions look in all the wrong places for it. Yet it is as close as admitting our need for and receiving the love of the one who will make all things new. I love this last part that says, when we set aside our pride, self-consciousness, and self-protectiveness to come before God in our deep need, it is as if we step into a parallel reality. In that Prayer of Jabez book that I keep telling you guys about, he's basically talking about, he literally says, if you're not, oh, sorry, I'm talking over time. I'll wrap this up. He literally says that if you're not failing, then you're not truly relying on God. If you don't feel dependent on Him, if you don't feel like everything you do requires you to like depend on Him, then you're not truly leaning on God. That opened my mind so much because I am a person, and you guys know this, I am a person that straight up is like, I got this. I'll just do it all myself, Lord. Like you just take care of others that might not be able to do it themselves. Like, I got this. I'll just do it all myself because it's fine. Like, I need you, but like people need you more. Like, I'll just take care of all this, right? That is absolutely 100% wrong. Okay. And I cannot do anything without Him. I cannot flourish without Him. I cannot help others find Him without Him. I cannot bring others to Him without Him. I cannot do anything without Him. And when you really, truly realize that, and you feel this dependence, like when you truly feel you are dependent on Him, if you are failing, that means you are depending on Him. Okay. And then watch your life take a turn and truly start flourishing because you're depending, and He's listening and He's seeing that, and He's helping you flourish because you've asked Him to help you through your dependence, right? I'm going to read the comments really fast because I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Lisette says, I was just telling my hubby that when I wake up at 4 or 5 for these, I don't feel tired at the end of the day. And I don't even think about how early I woke up or complain. I just do it for my goals. To me, leadership starts with leading yourself. You have to lead yourself to do the work for your own business. That is gold, Lisette. That is gold. Brenda says, I totally agree. I'm trying to learn. I have my first 2 under me that I enrolled, and I don't always know what to do. I feel like I let them down. You can't let them down, because here's the thing about this business. It is 100% a you business, meaning that it's their business as well, right? And so if you don't let yourself down and you continue to put in the work for yourself, then you can't let them down. If they don't want to respond to you, or if they don't want to come back to you, or if they don't want to do the things that you're asking them to do, then you can literally not let them down. That's them. I don't even want to say that's them letting themselves down, but it's them not wanting more yet. And sometimes I tell this story about Caitlin Reeves all the time. Actually, it's been a while since I've told it, but Caitlin Reeves joined somebody else. Okay. She is not personally enrolled to me. She's one of my best friends now. Literally did not join me, joined somebody else. Okay. She went Ruby like that, like right away, like within 30 days, she went Ruby. This was before she had kids. Okay. This is before she had Quinn. And then she was a night nurse, right? She still is. She works on mamas and babies that just had, mamas that just had babies. That's the nurse that comes in and takes care of you. That's Caitlin. But I never remember the name of it. Anyways, so she was like, you know what? I have a good job. Like, I just really don't need this. Like, I just don't need it. Like, she makes great money as a nurse. Okay. And so I was like, cool, whatever. Like, she quit. A year later, a whole year later, her enroller had already quit. Okay. So her leader had already quit. Wow. What you got? Is it a phone? A fake phone? Pretty cool. So her like nobody on her team was still working, not one. Okay. A whole year later. And she's like, I really need this. Yes, I see your baby. I'm pregnant. And when I have this baby, by the way, Huntley and Quinn are 2 days apart. Okay. So we were both pregnant and she's watching and she's like, this girl's going to be able to stay home with her baby when she's born. And I said no to it a year ago because it wasn't for me. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because something shifted inside of her a whole year later, that she decided that she was worth it. She decided that she wanted it. She decided that there was a bigger reason for it. So sometimes we count ourselves out as our leadership, thinking like, oh, I let them down. If I could have just shown them more, if I could have just been there more for them, if I could have done this or that, maybe then they would have stayed. But God's plan was that Caitlin was going to come back a year later under my guidance. Okay. She's still not personally enrolled to me because she's still working her old account, but like under my guidance. And she went double diamond in 60 days, double diamond in 60 days. And she legit had nobody under her working. Like she started from scratch on her own account. Okay. So that is leadership. When you keep doing what God has called you to do and you keep doing this business every single day, you will relate to them. And at some point, maybe it's not a baby, maybe it's a loss in the family, or maybe they lost their job or whatever it may be. At some point, they're going to come back around and you're going to be there to help them and lead them. So, okay, I've talked way over time, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop the recording now.